So I've turned off the labels and I can again just go through, select my surfaces and curves. And I can get rid of these extraneous curves. Select surface. Curve. Delete what I don't need. Surface. Curve. And this is my last one. Select surface. Again, just if you're in the middle of a command, it's not doing what you want, just hit escape. I'm just hitting enter to do the command again to select what I need. Select the curve, and there it is. Or that's actually a surface again. This is a curve. And now I've got all of my surfaces unrolled. I can go back and zoom out of the top view and double click the top view. And one thing we have not done is save our file yet. So remember that you want a file, save as, you can just save it to your desktop or to your thumb drive. It's probably better, or to your U drive. We're going to save it as this Rhino model.3dm. I'm just going to say this is Jason's pattern. Save. So this was, again, a time where I might want to go back to my ghosted view. And this is my object that I had revolved originally. So you can see that if I select that, and if I rejoin it together, then when I select it, I'll select the whole thing. Now, if I go to I want to go to my top view and drag these objects, these surfaces, and orient them in a way where they can be cut out of a piece of paper in a pretty kind of economical way. So get them, not overlapping, but fairly close together. And I may want to just go and use my dimension tool just to make sure they're going to fit on my piece of paper. So I'm just going to click 2 points. That's 25 inches. And our paper is probably going to be 22 by 30. So I need to move them in a different, orient them in a different way so they're going to fit on my piece of paper. That's 41 inches. I'm going to, for now, turn off my grid snap and turn off my O snap and use a different tool called the rotate tool, which is right here. Rotate. It's going to ask me my center of rotation. Actually, I'll turn the O snap back on, and I can just select an edge of this object, and then it'll ask me for my angle at first reference point, and I can angle that And this way I'll be able to get things to fit closer together. I'll just show that command one more time. Again, I want to rotate, which is, we revolved before, we're going to rotate. So I'm going to select the object, hit return, center of rotation. I'm going to snap to the object using my O snap, select another point as a reference point, and I can rotate that around. So I'm just in the process of reorienting and moving some of these things around. You might notice that some are darker and some are lighter. That's because it just shows the program knows that surfaces have two sides. So I might be looking at the bottom of one surface, but the top of another surface. For this project, since we're just making out of paper, it actually doesn't matter if the color is different because we can just turn the piece of paper over. So it's fine, but if you did want to change and make them all so you're looking at the top, you can just select the surface and then type in flip and flip it over. So I'm just going to flip it over. And then I'm just going to continue to orient these so I can get them on a 22 by 30 piece of paper. So now I have these oriented pretty close together, nested together. I'm going to just double check just by snapping to the grid just to make sure that they are going to fit on that piece of paper. So that's 22.75. So I'm just going to go a little bit closer. Just look at these two are lined up on that line. So I'll go snap right below that line and choose the topmost point up here and zoom out. And so I have a quarter of an inch, which is a little bit tight, actually. I might want to have a little bit more space to work with. So just around the outside of my edge of paper, I'm going to turn off my grid snap, just drag these up a little bit closer to that. I'm going to turn the O snap off as well. That way I can really just get it very, very close. And again, now I'll go and measure. Click on my shift key, constrain that vertically. So now I've got 21.5. So I'm fine. Got a quarter of an inch on each side. Selecting and deleting that. Do the same thing for the horizontal dimension. Press shift, choose look for your outermost point, and just kind of drag up. Press shift to constrain it horizontally. So 29.15 inches. So that's just going to fit my 22 by 30 inch piece of paper. I'm going to save it so I don't lose it. So right now, these are all surfaces, and we actually need to convert them to curves so that we can bring those into the laser cutter. If I go to my perspective view, you can see that these are curves. If I select them, I'm not getting any little window that comes up and says that I have any curves. So I'll go back to my top view and I'll select all of these objects, then use a command called silhouette and hit return. And now it's made curves all around the outside of all these shapes. Since I spent all that time organizing these, I'm going to group these together, and that way I can select my move tool and just select a point and move them over. So you can see that I have surfaces here, and I've got the curves here. All I need for the laser cutter is the curves. So I'm going to select those curves, and then I'm going to go to File, Export Selected, and rather than saving it as a Rhino file, I'm going to choose another file type. These are all different types of files here, and we're going to use the AutoCAD Drawing Exchange DXF file. So click DXF. You can rename it, and you can save it to your thumb drive or to the desktop and then copy it to your thumb drive. So I'm going to say Jason DXF for laser, and then save that. And you just want to use the default export and just click OK. And now I just want to double check that my file is okay. I'm going to save this work. So I'll save that. So make sure it's saved. And I'm going to go File, Open, and go to my desktop and look for that file, open it up. It'll ask me some import options. Just click OK. And now you can see that I just have that linear information from that three-dimensional pattern that I made, that three-dimensional form that I made. And this will be brought to the laser cutter and cut out, and then we can reassemble them.